Good afternoon, YouTube. It's your boy 𝗜𝗡𝗙𝗢𝗡𝗟, the Terminator Lance. And today we are back with another video. In this video, I'm going to discuss how fast the Marines actually deploy. So with that being said, let's get into it. Everyone has their own reasons for joining the Marine Corps. Whether it's you want a better education, you wanted a challenge, you wanted that sweet Mustang, or maybe you wanted that Grand Slam at Denny's for the rest of your life on Veterans Day. Who knows? When the Marine Corps dies, you signed up for one thing, and that is to deploy. For most Marines, deploying is the first initiation into seniority. This is the first chance you will get for your chain of command to evaluate you and determine whether or not you're their Marine that they want to promote and eventually take over their shop when they move on to the next part of their careers. So typically how it goes, a squadron will be put on a DFE. A DFE is basically a 6-month window where Marines have to maintain readiness for deployment, and at any given moment, they get deployed. So if I call it correctly, the day before all your fighter jets deploy, you will meet, I believe, at the hangar at 4 a.m. And there's a thing called lead crew and trail crew. These are the two crews that will embark on a C-17 or C-130 and arrive at your following destination to ensure that the fighter jets landed correctly. There are so many things that goes behind the scenes that need to go right in order for Marines to deploy, and it all starts with your GSC and your SIF gear. During this time, S4 and GSC will ensure that all C-17s and C-130s are properly equipped with the proper GSC equipment and gear needed for the deployment. They typically arrive around 2 a.m. and work their asses off till 9 p.m. the next day, or 2100. During this time, Marines will be getting all their SIF gear ready, ATAPing, and boarding the aircraft at 4 a.m. For those of you who are wondering, a C-130 is a military aircraft used to transport military personnel during a combat deployment or maneuver. You might have seen this aircraft at your annual air show. This aircraft typically expends flares that shoot out and resemble an angel of death. Mind you though, flares are non-combative and they're actually used to trick other aircraft's heat-seeking missiles by convincing them that they're a heat source. You might have seen this in the latest movie, TopGun Maverick. So after lead crew and trail crew land, they wait at the flight line for the scheduled F-18 fighter jets, or any fighter jets, to land. Your commanding officer will be summoning the entire squadron to the hangar for a formation and to get all your SIF gear and sea bags weighed, and to get every personnel on board to their respective planes for the deployment. So just a friendly reminder that I was aviation ordnance. With that being said, this whole maneuver and process is basically how a fighter jet squadron deploys. I repeat, a fighter jet squadron deploys. If you've seen the new movie TopGun Maverick, I mean it's not that new, but if you've seen that movie, that basically explains just how quick Tom Cruise's character, Maverick, was able to deploy off a US carrier into a combat zone. Earlier when I said so many things have to go right, I truly mean this. So my platform was the F-18 Hornet. And this aircraft, I believe, came out in the late 70s. The latest models came out in the 80s. These aircraft break down worse than a Ford Mustang. I shit not. So we typically would have 16 fighter jets prepared to deploy. We pray to God 12 are ready. But that's not always the case. Out of my 2 deployments, yes, we were able to manage all 12 aircraft on each deployment, good to go, fly overseas. With that being said, how fast can Marines really deploy? Honestly, I'd give it a 36-hour window, give or take. But again, that's barring any downed aircraft, anything and everything going right or wrong. And mind you, again, aviation ordnance, I don't know what it's like to deploy as a grunt. I don't know what it's like to deploy as a different branch. All I know is how to deploy as an aviation ordnanceman in the United States Marine Corps. With that being said, I'm sure it's a lot quicker for Marines to deploy without having to prepare 12 jets to fly. With that being said, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. It feels great to be back. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody who has liked, commented, and subscribed to my channel. I received my first YouTube award / plaque this week, and honestly, It meant so much to me, and I truly am humble and grateful for all of you that have tuned in every month, every week, and watched my videos. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much, and there are more videos on their way. Have a good afternoon. God bless. I'm 𝗓𝗓𝗡𝗙𝗢, the Netherlands.